Baldurs Gate 3 is releasing very soon. We are merely hours away from one of the biggest releases this year. It has been a long time for those that have been in it since the first time we got access to the game back in 2019, and as one of those people, I couldn't be more excited. Here is everything you need to know about Baldurs Gate 3 before its release. Baldurs Gate 3 is set 120 years after the events of Baldurs Gate 2. It is also set shortly after the D&D adventure book Descent into Avernus. Mind flayers have invaded. You as the players start out already captured by the mind flayers, and you learn that you have been infected with one of their tadpoles as you attempt to escape. Throughout the game, you will meet other survivors of the mind flayers who you will pick up as potential companions, traveling the world to find a cure for your mind flare problem. You can make your own character, or you can choose from one of the origin characters who are also companions in the game. Set in the Forgotten Realms on the continent of Faerun, mainly the Sword Coast, Baldur's Gate is a city within the world that you will get to explore and learn about throughout. The game will have a range of content from side quests, main quests, and collectibles, of course. The game is setting out to be one of the biggest RPGs in general, like crazy big. Here's a fun fact: the game will supposedly have around 17,000 potential endings depending on choices made throughout the game. That's nuts. That's so many endings. How many times do you have to play through this game to get every ending? Well, I guess 17,000. A lot of the mechanics are based upon Dungeons & Dragons 5e rule set. There have been some changes though to make the game more streamlined for this new medium. The makers of Baldur's Gate 3, Larian Studios, are well known for the Divinity Original Sin franchise, a hugely popular CRPG series, and a must-play if you are a fan of the genre. The game has been in early access since September 2019, and the game will have single-player and up to 4-player online co-op. It will also feature 2-player local co-op and split screen. Up the split screen, I'm glad we're bringing this stuff back. My goodness, it's been too long. And speaking of players, you will obviously get to make your own if you so choose, and here are the classes that you'll get to choose from. You have Cleric, Fighter, Ranger, Rogue, Warlock, Wizard, Druid, Sorcerer, Barbarian, Bard, Paladin, and Monk. That's 12 classes. But it doesn't stop there. Each class has subclasses. Yeah, welcome to D&D, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new here, welcome. Welcome to the goddamn giant thing that is D&D. The subclasses for Cleric will be Light Domain, Life Domain, Trickery Domain, Knowledge Domain, Nature Domain, Tempest Domain, and the War Domain. For Fighter, you will have the Battlemaster, the Eldritch Knight, and the Champion. For the Ranger, you will have the Beastmaster, Hunter, and Gloomstalker. For the Rogue, you will have the Thief, the Arcane Trickster, and the Assassin. For Warlock, there is the Fiend, the Great Old One, and the Archfey. For Wizard, you have all the schools of magic: the Abjuration School, Conjuration, Divination, Enchantment, Evocation, Necromancy, Illusion, Transmutation, and that's it. That's it. You thought there was more, didn't you? For the Druid, there will be the Circle of the Moon, Circle of the Land, and Circle of the Spores. For Sorcerer, you will have the Draconic Bloodline, Wild Magic, and Storm Sorcery. Barbarian, you will have Berserker, Wild Heart, and Wild Magic. Bard, you'll have the College of Law, College of Valor, and the College of Swords. Paladin, you will have Oath of Devotion, Oath of the Ancients, Oath of Vengeance, and Oathbreaker, which is a special one you will have to do in-game activities to unlock. But I won't spoil what. I have done it. I've done it in early access. It is very cool. If you play a Paladin, I recommend at least trying this. Save before you do it in case you don't want to go down this path, but just do it because it's just cool to see. And lastly, for Monk, you will have Way of the Open Hand, Way of the Shadow, and Way of the Four Elements. As well as choosing a class, you will also have to choose a race. For races, you have 11. Human, Dwarf, Elf, Half-Elf, Gnome, Halfling, Drow, Githyanki, Half-Orc, Tiefling, and Dragonborn. Most races also have sub-races. For Human, obviously you have none, but for Dwarf, you have the Gold Dwarf, the Shield Dwarf, and the Dwarga. For Elf, you have High Elf and Wood Elf. For Half-Elf, you have High Elf, Wood Elf, and Drow Elf, depending on which half of Elf you want to be. Gnome, you have Deep Gnome, Forest Gnome, and Rock Gnome. Halfling, you have the Lightfoot and the Strongheart. The Drow, you have the Lothsworn and the Sildarin. Githyanki and Half-Orc don't have sub-races, but the Tiefling has the Asmodeus, the Mephistophels, I hope I pronounced that right, and the Zariel. Dragonborn you have quite a few to choose from. You have black, blue, brass, bronze, copper, gold, green, red, silver, and white. Obviously, depending on what sub-races you choose for whatever race you choose, depends on what attributes you get. For example, for Dragonborn, depending on which kind of dragon sub-race you choose, will depend on which dragon breath you get and what resistances you get to certain elements. And obviously in traditional D&D, some races are better at some classes than others, but Larian have decided to make it a bit more fair across the board for all the races, so it shouldn't matter too much which race you pick with your class. Again, obviously some will be better than others depending on your build, but there is definitely more freedom here as Larian have made it a bit more of an even playing field for all the races. Now for when the game is coming out. Now obviously when this video is coming out, we will be genuinely hours away from the game releasing. The game comes out August 3rd on PC, but make sure to check your local time as it will differ due to time zones. For example, here in Australia, we can expect the game to release late Thursday night / early Friday morning. If you are wanting to play the game on PS5, however, you'll have to wait until September 6th, which is actually the same day Starfield comes out for Xbox. The Xbox release date is TBD due to a problem Larian are trying to solve with local multiplayer on that system, as well as the Mac release also being TBD at the moment. If you have purchased the game early on PC, you will get a free upgrade to the Digital Deluxe Edition, which comes with the Divinity Bard Song Pack, PC Dice Skin, Paintings from Riverlong Collection, Adventurer's Pouch Collection, which are potions and supplies to start you off. You will also get the digital soundtrack for the game, a digital art book, digital character sheets, which go in depth for each character in the game, Mask of the Shapeshifter, which was an item from DOS 2 that could change your appearance to another race. In Baldurs Gate 3, this will allow access to the character creator at any time, Cape of the Red Prince, Loot of the Merryweather, Needle of the Outlaw Rogue, and Bicorn of the Sea Beast. Honestly, these all seem pretty cool. The soundtrack, art book, and character sheets alone make this stand out for me, character sheets especially. And obviously, if you got the collector's edition, you are getting much more than this, but if you are thinking of picking one up now, you might be out of luck, as they have all sold out and Larian have said that there will be some time before they restock, if at all. Although there is hope, as you can sign up to be notified when they do restock, so my guess is they will do it, but it will be some time. Some things to note for you early access players. Larian have said to delete all your saves and uninstall the current game before downloading the full release. So if you are quite attached to your character from early access, it's time to say farewell and begin anew. And that is everything you need to know before the game releases very soon. I, for one, cannot wait and will be playing as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below what you are most excited for in Baldurs Gate 3, as well as what class and race you plan on playing, and subscribe for more Baldurs Gate 3 content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.